So you're filming an upcoming conference and you want to know the best way to create the biggest impact. Well, here's my top 3 tips for filming conferences. Hey, it's Alex from Video Upskill, and if you're looking to learn, create, and inspire with the power of video, then consider subscribing because I've got plenty of video production tutorials to come. So in my experience of filming conferences, I've had to film extended recordings of people presenting, as well as filming highlight reels at the same time, and when it's just one person, me. And so with this video, I want to teach you those tips about how to get the biggest impact and create a highlight reel, as well as deliver a full extended recording of people's conferences. So firstly, this filming style does involve having a few cameras. So if you do happen to have 3 cameras, this is what my system involves. So tip 1 is strategic placement of your cameras, as well as planning your movements. So for example, when you've got someone presenting and they've got a big projector screen up the top, my typical setup, always standard, is to have 2 cameras right next to each other. We've got one that's doing a mid shot on the speaker, as well as one that's a big wide shot that shows the presentation up. So you can sync the slides later, you've got a reference point, and you can do a 2-camera edit and it looks great. Then when you're confident that the speaker is going to be standing in the same position, you know your 2 cameras are going to cover that all good, then you can occasionally go around and find and pick off different camera angles and shots. So with this, you need to be really careful, and you also need to plan out when you can do your movements, when it's a safe time to go around and get highlights. Basically, you got to judge it yourself. If the speaker is moving around back and forth, then maybe it's not safe to go and get highlight shots. So you might want to man the camera and just continue to follow them. That's just the way it is. So tip number 2 is to have backups. So for example, when we're recording audio from the desk feed or recording with lapel mics on the speaker, you want to have a backup. You might want to place a Zoom recorder right next to either a PA system or right next to the stage where the speaker is speaking, or underneath an extra lav mic, underneath the lectern, etc. Whatever you got to do. And also when it comes to recording from the desk, you might get a desk feed to go into your camera or into a Zoom recorder. And you might also have a wireless system where you're monitoring the audio, making sure it's coming in, and you're recording to another camera as well. So having backups is great if you can set it up. Tip number 3. So this is to capture vox pops and feedback from the people attending the event. This will give you a really good narrative when it comes to editing the highlight reel, along with using some of the really profound statements from the speakers on the day of filming. So when you're coming to cut your highlight reel together, just make sure you've got those vox pops or those testimonials, and then you can show footage of the different speakers as the testimonials have been given. So you can just cut this narrative together rather than just editing a highlight reel with just the music. Especially for conferences, they love the testimonials because it's a way and an opportunity to bring more people back or to attend for next year's event. It's all about you're creating the advertising or the marketing for them to bring more people to their event for the next year. So team up with a conference member or a volunteer and get them to ask the questions as you do the vox pops. I use a wireless handheld mic for this system because in a conference environment, sometimes it's really noisy and a lot of talking going on, but by using that handheld mic, you can really narrow in the sound, and you can hear the difference if you were to use a shotgun mic on top of your camera versus using a handheld mic. It's really designed for these environments. So if you're looking to take your videography to the next level, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video production tutorial. Learn, create, and inspire.